Sister Shivani says that we do all our work, managing the house stuff, taking care of kids, workplace, and so on. We do everything that we need to do. But what about one responsibility of taking care of us? Especially our mind. She also talks about the long-term impact of this on our physical and mental health. In this video, we will go deeper into this and understand why we feel stress and anger. What are the consequences? What do we need to do? We will look at the 3 layers that we need to peel off to actually make a difference, to bring long-lasting change so that we make real progress and not some superficial thing that lasts only a few days. We will cover all the key steps in detail and some examples of how I incorporated these changes. So stay tuned till the end. Namaste. I am Gargi and you are watching The Aligned Souls. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos on building a healthy mind, body and soul. Let's dive in. Part 1. The Cry. Sister Shivani gave a very good example. As a mother of a small child, we juggle quite a few responsibilities. Taking care of the child, house chores, office work and whatnot. But we know our priority. When the child is crying, no matter where we are, we go rushing and tend to the baby. The mother will withdraw from whatever she is doing. She will spend a few minutes to console and soothe her child and then return to her work. If she does not take out those couple of minutes to console the child will cry out all the more. But then this child, our mind, has been crying for a very long time. Isn't it? There is so much tension, so much stress about finances, work, relationships and whatnot. And what are we doing about it? Nothing. Zero. And what do we say? We are too busy to take care of our mind. Doesn't matter anyways, I can handle it. Isn't it? But the key point that Sister Shivani brings up again and again is that we cannot help others or deliver our duties well or meet our goals if we ourselves are not taken care of. During my PhD, I was juggling a lot. Technical research, thesis work, student curriculum, lectures, and tending to a newborn at the same time. I think the problem is also that it does not come all together. Then we can notice that something is not right. It creeps up on you slowly. It builds up block by block. It started with work, then the scope of responsibilities, then some institutional politics, and then the responsibilities around a newborn. I was managing like we all do. I guess I was just busy. I could feel something inside of me. But who has time for all that? And I just shrugged it aside. The real blow in the face came when my son, who was 5 then, said one night, "Mama, why are you so angry all the time? You used to talk so nicely earlier. Are you mad at me? I promise I will not trouble you. I will be better." I just cried. Inconsolably. I cried my heart out. That whole night I was awake, pondering about what was going on. What brought me to this? When we don't listen to our mind crying, it starts piling up. It starts with a little cry in the form of tension. Tension for work or deadlines, relationships or something else. But we go on. Part of the deal, part of life, we say. I was at this stage where my older kid was able to notice a change in my behavior. It's a wake-up call that there is something wrong on the inside. We are the ones hurting. We may not keep ignoring all the signs. Our mind is our little child and it is crying and it needs attention. Part 2. A quick fix. Every now and then we read a self-help book, we listen to a lecture or go on a retreat. We get motivated and make a resolution to not be angry, to handle stress better. We are motivated for a few days, but when something happens, our kid did something or someone in the office said something, then it all comes crashing down. We have been there so many times. haven't we? What is the problem? The problem is that just by motivating ourselves or by making a resolution, we cannot suddenly stop being angry or stressed. We may be a saint for a few days, but we soon go back when a situation comes up. The issue is that we are operating at the surface level. That brings us to the next section, which is very important. Part 3, the 3 layers, the real fix. This concept is from the author of Atomic Habits, James Clear, and I could draw a lot of parallels with what Sister Shivani mentioned. What it says is that if we want to make a behavior change or change some ingrained habit, we need to operate from the identity layer, which is the deepest layer, and not from the surface layer, which we often try. Most of us start by focusing on the outcome-based goals, like I want to lose 10 kgs, I want to stop getting angry, I want to reduce my stress, I want to write a best-selling book. The root of behavior change and building better habits is your identity. But what is identity? It is the type of person that you believe you are. If you change your identity, then it's easier to change your actions. But then, how do we do that? How do we change our identity? Before we go there, let's understand how our current identity is formed. Let's say I have been waking up early morning and going for a 2-mile run for many years now. I would have a self-identity of being a disciplined and athletic person. This belief, this identity has formed over time as I gave it multiple instances to prove it to my mind. Whatever your identity is right now, you only believe it because you have proof of it. Small, little proofs that you have accumulated over time. If you have been going to a place of worship like a church or a temple for several years, you have evidence that you are religious. So, what is the point? How does that help me? Now, if I want to make a change in myself, I start from identity. Let's say I want to be fitter, healthier. Then I need to create an identity of a fit person. I need to feel that I am a fit person. But if I have been eating junk food and binging Netflix, then I would not suddenly start believing that I am a fit person. I have to add proof. Every time I make a healthy choice of food or exercise, that belief in my identity as a fit person becomes stronger. I would slowly build that identity in my head and start acting like one. And as that identity starts to become stronger, you automatically start to act accordingly and choose things that help you stay healthy. Because when you keep doing something over and over again, it kind of becomes a part of who you are. Of course, there are other factors that shape our identity. But the point is that if we can give enough proof in terms of multiple experiences, we can bring about the desired change. When I read this, I could immediately see the link between what Sister Shivani said. She said that in this society that we live in, we have come to believe that stress and tension are natural. It's part of life. As kids, parents would say, "How can you be so cool? Tomorrow you have your exams." And as we grew up, we added more and more instances of stress from work, office politics, competition, and relationships. So, that has become our belief, our identity, that we are stressed, and that is normal. When I read something like, "Happiness is your natural way of being," it's your choice. It doesn't magically change my whole belief system in an instant. When I read a book or attend a spirituality lecture, I might nod along. I might agree. But then I go back to my regular life and I'm still stuck in my old ways, thinking stress is just a part of life. It's like, well, all that stuff is great in theory, but it doesn't work in real life situations. That's why things like meditation workshops and spirituality often feel separate from my everyday life. I can attend a retreat, a workshop, or a spiritual program, and While I'm there, I totally agree with what they are saying. But when I return back to my regular life and slip back into my old habits and think, those ideas don't really apply here. It was easy for them to say, but they are not dealing with what I am. Right? Then she comes to the concept of identity that we just discussed. She says that we keep saying, I want peace, I don't want to be stressed, I want happiness. When we say this, it's like peace and happiness are somewhere outside of us and we want to get them. It has to be inside. It has to be our identity. That is why all her affirmations mention, I am a peaceful soul. I am a powerful soul. This is me. This is my identity. And she adds that these affirmations have to be strengthened. It's not a mantra that we just keep repeating mindlessly. It's a conviction. I am telling myself who I am and preparing myself. Everything that I do will be out of this consciousness, this awareness. This is who I am. And I would believe it if I had proof. When we experiment with it, if we get the result, we take it as truth. So, internalize that identity of being a peaceful person. I am a peaceful person. So, how will I behave in our daily lives, be it at home or office? Try to bring that in action. And whenever you are successful in managing things calmly, be it about something that your kid did or someone at work, it will add a solid proof to your identity of being a peaceful and powerful soul. Peaceful as you managed it with composure. Powerful as you had the willpower to manage your emotions. And just like we build the identity of a fit person in the previous example with multiple instances of eating healthy and working out, just on those lines, when we add instances of managing things calmly, instances of being at ease while going about our daily lives, we will slowly but surely strengthen our belief in our identity of being a peaceful person. In conclusion, Sister Shivani reminds us that inner peace is not something external to attain. It's who we are at our core. By embracing the identity of a peaceful and powerful soul and strengthening it with proof in our daily actions, we can create lasting change. Let's remember that nurturing our minds is not just a luxury, but a necessity for our well-being and our ability to fulfill our responsibilities. So, take the time to listen to your own mind's cry and embark on the journey to a healthier, happier you. Don't forget to watch this video where we learn how to create our own protective shield. Thanks a lot for watching, and do subscribe to the channel for more videos on building a healthy mind, body and soul.